Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and we are carrying on with the Casey Anthony trial and the next defence witness, which is Joseph Jordan. In 2008, in June, July and August, he volunteered to help search with Texas EquiSearch. It's an organisation that searches for missing people, and this was the first time he had done anything like this. He was in fact a team leader, which is someone that basically leads the team, and a team would consist of between 10 to 20 members. So in September he went to search on Suburban Drive, and they were given directions to a certain area to search for Kayleigh, but he doesn't recall how many times he searched on Suburban Drive. So now Joseph is now showing which area they concentrated their search on Suburban Drive. So he and other members at one point found a pink baby blanket and a cooler. He doesn't know if the sheriff's office came and collected what they'd found. So later that day they did another search with 2 dog handlers. He doesn't know if, at this point he is asked if one of the dogs is a cadaver dog, which he doesn't know. He just got the handlers to get their dogs to sniff those items that he had found. He doesn't remember the exact date of when the remains were found, he just remembers it was in December. So he sent an email to Yuri Melich on 13th of December. But he can't remember the exact details of the email, so of course Mr. Mason is refreshing his memory. So he told them that he believed he was in the location of where the remains had been found, and he also told them that he believed that the remains had been moved after his search. So the cross-examination. The searches he did were in late August, early September. Before he began these searches, he had been emailing Orange County Sheriff's Office. He had sent several suggestions of who they should contact to aid in the search for Kayleigh. So Mr. Ian Burdick is now showing him his original paperwork that he had filled out before becoming a team leader for Texas EquiSearch, and part of his duties was to note down any items of interest to be later handed in to law enforcement. So now they show Joseph's field team activity report log, and as you can see it shows the names of the other individuals that helped with the search and also where they searched. He had actually found 2 humerus bones which turned out to be not human. They now show the map that was attached to his report, which shows a map with highlighted areas on it, which shows the areas he searched. So the email he sent was based on the media coverage he had seen on TV. So the redirect. He says when he saw the blue tents etc. on TV, he thought at the time it was the area he had searched. So there we go. So next up we have George Anthony. This is He is asked if he knows a woman by the name of Crystal Holloway. George says he knows her by that name and another name, which is River Cruz. George knows her because she came to the command centre in October of 2008. She became a volunteer and they did consider her to be a friend at one point. And George does say that a lot of the volunteers that were there, that they got to know, he considered them friends. So George is asked if he had a romantic relationship with her, and George says, "No, sir." And he says to Baez that it's very funny that he asked that. He also is asked if he was intimate with her, and George again says no, and also finds that question very funny. He never borrowed any money from her. So he did go to her house on 2 or 3 occasions. On going to her house, which is a gated community, you have to show identification. The first time George went there was because she had told him that she had a brain tumour and was dying and she needed someone to comfort her. He felt that was the least he could do because she had been helping them so much. Don't know, I get this very, very strange vibe from George. He also went during the day and not at night, and he is confirming that he only went there to console her. Cindy never went to Crystal's home, it was only George. Although Cindy knew he was visiting. George is asked if he ever said to Crystal that Kayleigh's death was an accident that snowballed out of control. He says he never confided in her or any other volunteers, even the ones he considered friends. He is asked if he ever sent her a text message saying he needed her in his life. He says yes, he sent many texts to the volunteers, and yes, he did need those people in his life. So yes, he did send her that text message. No, George, no. He did once leave her a letter which he says it was just to cheer her up, which he doesn't see anything wrong with that. I'm sorry, but if my husband was doing that, I wouldn't be very happy. He doesn't know how many times he spoke to her on the phone between October 2008 and January 2009. The cross-examination. George met Crystal in the middle of October 2008 and the friendship ended in January 2009, just after Kayleigh's remains had been found. So there we go. I'm presuming this information about an intimate relationship between George and Crystal is from Crystal. It doesn't sound good, really, no matter how much George tries to make it as a friendship. If my husband was doing that, I'm sorry, it just does not look good. So I'll leave it at that. So I'll be back with more in another video. So until then, bye for now.